Michael Griffey loved his V8 Monaro. He would drive it for the last time on the 29th of December 2005. He travelled from his San Remo beach house towards the main residence in Pakenham. It's 7:39 a.m. and Michael Griffey pulls into this very service station in Granville. He buys an orange juice, a cup of coffee, and he puts 58 litres of unleaded petrol into the Monaro. Now, remember that, 58 litres, because later that will become crucial evidence. He arrived at the Pakenham address just after 8 a.m. Police believe between 2:30 and 3 p.m. that day in the family garage, he was savagely beaten to death with a metal object. His body would lie there for 4 long days. Remember, his best mate Darren told us he spoke to Michael less than 1 hour before this happened. Michael told him he had 50 grand in the safe.
Yeah.
In cash?
Yeah.
And he was planning to take Diane out of his will and off the bank accounts. The crime scene held plenty of clues. There was no forced entry to the garage. The safe was open and empty. Wallet and phone were taken. The boot to the Monaro was popped open. Inside is an empty briefcase. The body was covered by a striped sheet, and over the top of that, a grey tarpaulin. Finally, his work diary was missing 2 pages, torn out in a hurry, the 27th and the 28th of December. So what's Kenny's version of events the day his father was murdered? Let's find out. 29th of December 2005 is a Thursday.
Yep.
Tell me about that day from your perspective, from the beginning.
So that day, I started the day, I think I'd slept in, I can't remember, but the first thing I did was I think I went in the F-250 and went down to the Andrew Builders to see where we were at, what we needed, what it was going to cost.
Only days earlier, Kenny had blown the engine in his sprint car. He was due to be competing in an important race that weekend, so he was desperate to get it fixed. Who was the engine builder?
Andrew Blackwell was the engine builder.
Do you know roughly what time this was?
That was in the morning, so I think that was, it would be between 9 and 12, I presume, somewhere around there.
So you saw Andrew, spoke to him about the engine in the car?
Yep.
And you came back to the family home?
Yep. Yeah, so I pulled up, went inside, Mum and Dad were there.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Kenny says the atmosphere in the house is tense. Michael has a bombshell for Kenny about the racing team.
And Dad said, well, we're struggling. We're not going to be able to do that. Let's just park it for a few weeks.
Dad told you didn't have the funds to repair the car, keep going.
Yeah, pretty much.
What was your reaction
I was disappointed.
to your father?
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Was it an argument?
No, I don't think so.
Then what happened?
So from what I can recall, I went back to Andrew Blackwell, the Andrew Builders, and
what
told
time
him,
was that?
I think that was about 2.
That's important, as Michael was killed between 2:30 and 3 p.m. So you went back to tell him,
Yep.
We can't go ahead with the repairs.
Yeah, it's gonna take a week or whatever. Dad's working it out.
Why didn't you just call him on the phone?
I'd known him a long time. We were good friends, Andrew and I.
You tell me, is it odd that you didn't call him on the phone as opposed to go to tell him that...
I honestly don't think I even had his phone number. I wouldn't have had Andrew's phone number.
So you left Andrew,
Yep.
back to the family home
Yep.
for the second time.
Yep.
What time was that?
I think it's about, I'm trying to think now, maybe 3. Yeah, it would be around 3.
And what do you remember?
Monaro was pulling out. He was I saw him backing out as I was coming up about 500 metres away.
You saw your dad's car reversing out of the driveway?
Yeah, the black Monaro was backing out, yep.
So there's no mistaking that it was your dad's car, no
100%.
mistaking that you saw him coming out?
Yep. I saw him backing out, so I saw his tail lights, and then took off. And I remember him driving, we drove past each other as I drove into the driveway.
Clear about that?
100%, yep. 100% saw him driving.
Police say by this time, Michael was already dead. The police measured the amount of petrol that was left in your dad's car.
Yep.
And they determined that there was only enough petrol for it to drive from the service station he filled it up at to the family home. Not enough for it to leave and return from anywhere else.
Yep.
Are you certain you saw his car leave that day?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. I didn't see where it went, where it turned, but I definitely saw it pull out, yeah. It's just the sort of thing that sticks in your memory.
Would you have any explanation for why the petrol that's remaining in the tank doesn't back up that version of events?
Yeah, I can't explain that. Whether it didn't go very far, I don't know. I can't explain that.
Police are certain Michael was dead by 3 p.m. and supporting that, the petrol in the tank suggests he never left the house. But Kenny says he did. And curiously, Diane backs him up, but her version is different again. Your mum, Diane's statement says that when your father pulled out, that you were standing beside her.
Right.
If Diane is saying that you were standing beside her and you both saw the car drive away,
Yep.
somebody is lying
Yep. So where does she say we were standing?
in the driveway.
No, there's no way. No, we definitely weren't standing in the driveway. I would have no reason to. I was definitely in the car when I saw Dad.
This is unexpected. Parts of Kenny's story don't add up. Most importantly, his alibi for the time his father was killed. But there's an easy way to clear this up.
There'd have to be cars or something out the front.
Find the mechanic he went to see that day, Andrew Blackwell. We're after Andrew if he's around.
Blackwell Motors? No.
He used to be next door.
Hey mate, how are you? Good, thanks. We're after Andrew Blackwell if he's in.
Don't know, we've never met him,
He
but
hides out the back.
every person comes here looking for him.
Yeah, he's Kenny's alibi. He's everything, really. Race garage? No, he said no signage. Potentially Kenny's alibi.
He's a bloke
Yeah.
with a shop with no phone number or signage on it that doesn't want to be found.
We'll find this fella.
It's after Andrew if he's in.
We don't have an Andrew here.
Don't have an Andrew Blackwell here. Okay.
He's the only person who can confirm if Kenny was at the house or not at the time of Michael's murder.
I think he's around the back of us.
Next door.
Oh,
Next door. G'day. How are ya?
mate.
Just looking for Andrew Blackwell from Blackwell Motors.
Yeah. What about?
Denham from Channel 7. We're looking into a story from a little while ago and we just wanted to see if his recollection matches some of the stuff that we got.
It's a house.
Are you Andrew?
No, he's in the back.
Oh, we'll explain it to him. Is it?
He's a bit busy, mate, but is it?
We can wait, mate. It's all right. Just want to have a chat. That's all.
He's not interested at all.
I write a question down on a piece of paper. Did he see Kenny that day? They take it to Andrew, but his answer is he's busy. He hasn't even had time for lunch. We don't mind coming back later, Sabo or whatever, so we might go and try and find some lunch. For some reason, he doesn't want to come out, didn't even want to talk to us. Well, he did say he couldn't talk because he hadn't had lunch and he was getting a little grumpy, so I thought we'd bring him a toasted sandwich. See how we go. Tell him I got him lunch. Finally, Andrew Blackwell. Andrew, Denham.
Listen, I'm trying to roll ahead. I've only got 5 seconds.
Understand. Did Kenny come to see you that day?
Kenny came and seen us, but I can't remember if it was that day or the next day.
It was 15 years ago. Details will be hazy, but I'm hoping to confirm the important things. From what we understand, they told Kenny that the race team was over, and that same day he came back to tell you the race team is kaput. I don't want the engine fixed because we can't pay for it.
Yeah, I probably would remember that. I don't recall that.
Don't recall. So you don't recall Kenny having any conversation with you personally about that's it, we're done.
No.
Don't worry about fixing the engine.
No.
Sorry, but we're over.
No. Di said it's not happening.
Saturday morning. So Diane said to you, Saturday morning, race team is done.
Basically, I don't know if she said it's done, but she said they're not racing this weekend. I remember that. It was definitely Diane.
Okay. Well, that helps a lot. Oh, well, that was interesting. Very interesting. Kenny didn't tell him that the team was done. That was Diane. And maybe he came here on the day, maybe he didn't, but doesn't quite add up to the story that we know so far. Coming up now, unexpected news rocks Kenny Griffey, and we discover, as the family rang in the new year with their father dead in the garage, something happened that's hard to believe.